In the city of Eldoria, there lived a young man named Arian. He was kind, hardworking, and full of dreams, but life had always been difficult for him. Orphaned at a young age, he had no family to guide him. He worked in a small jewelry shop, polishing stones and crafting delicate ornaments. His hands were skilled, his designs were beautiful, yet his employer never appreciated him. "You're just a worker," his boss would say. "You don't deserve more than a few coins." Though Arian longed for a better life, he started believing he wasn't special. He felt like an ordinary stone among many, unimportant and replaceable. One evening, just as Arian was about to close the shop, an old man entered. He had a long gray beard and wore simple tattered robes. His eyes, however, were sharp and wise. He placed a dull, dusty stone on the counter and said, "Young man, I have a small task for you." Arian looked at the stone. It was rough, covered in dirt, and looked worthless. "What do you need me to do?" he asked politely. "Take this stone to 3 different places and ask them how much they would pay for it," the old man said. "But no matter what they offer, do not sell it." Arian was confused, but agreed. The next morning, he went to the busy marketplace. He approached a fruit seller, a man with a thick mustache and a loud voice. "Sir, how much would you pay for this stone?" Arian asked, holding it up. The fruit seller looked at it for a moment, then laughed. "This? It's just a rock. It's not even smooth enough to use as a paperweight." He scratched his head and said, "I guess I could use it to weigh down my fruit baskets. I'll give you 3 apples for it." Arian sighed and walked away. Next, he visited a goldsmith, a man who worked with precious metals and jewels. The goldsmith took the stone, rubbed it between his fingers, and examined it under his magnifying glass. He murmured. "It has a little shimmer, but it's nothing special. Maybe I can melt it down and mix it with gold." He put the stone down and said, "I'll give you 10 silver coins for it." Arian felt a small spark of hope. At least this man saw some value in the stone. But he remembered the old man's words and did not sell it. Finally, Arian went to the grand jeweler's mansion. The jeweler was known throughout Eldoria for his knowledge of rare gems. He had studied precious stones for many years and could recognize their true value with just one glance. When Arian showed him the stone, the jeweler's eyes widened. His hands trembled as he carefully lifted it, wiping away the dust. This is no ordinary stone," he whispered in amazement. "This is a Celestine diamond, the rarest gem in the world, lost for centuries." Arian gasped. "Is it really that valuable?" The jeweler nodded. "It is priceless. If you ever wish to sell it, name any price, and I will pay it." Arian stood there, shocked. He had thought the stone was worthless, just like he had believed about himself. But in reality, it was a rare treasure. Still in awe, Arian rushed back to the old man and told him everything. The old man smiled knowingly. "My boy," he said gently, "you are like this gem. The fruit seller saw no value in it, so he offered you apples. The goldsmith saw only a little worth, so he offered silver. But the jeweler, who understood its true value, was ready to give you anything for it." He placed a hand on Arian's shoulder and said, "This is how the world works. Some people will not see your worth. Others will see only a little. But the right people, the ones who truly understand, will recognize how precious you are. Never let those who don't see your value make you believe you are worthless." Arian felt something change inside him. He was not just a simple worker. He had skills, talent, and dreams worth pursuing. From that day on, he no longer worked for mere pennies. He left the shop and started his own jewelry business. With time and effort, he became the greatest gem artisan in all of Eldoria. But more importantly, he never again doubted his worth. Morale: know your worth. If people fail to recognize it, don't lower your value. Find those who do.